Hafa and welcome to this series about ancient sites and traditions of Micronesia. These episodes introduce the latest research and discussions about ancient life, history, and cultural traditions all across our diverse region of Micronesia. I hope that you like this series, and I look forward to learning more together. Fish weirs and fish traps have been documented throughout most parts of the world in archaeological sites, in historical references, and in modern practices. Studies in Micronesia are presented here by William Jeffery.
It's a United Nations Ocean Decade Initiative. So in 2021, a small group of researchers successfully submitted a decade action to the United Nations Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, 2021 to 2030. The title, which is quite long, the title is Indigenous People, Traditional Ecological Knowledge and Climate Change, the iconic underwater cultural heritage of stone tidal weirs, essentially centred on the preservation of and the knowledge to be gained from studying fish weirs and how that knowledge could be used today. The objectives of the Decade Action are primarily to work collaboratively with stakeholders and knowledge holders to develop, as per the objectives stated in the United Nations, which is a transformative science approach to the ocean we want, a thriving and sustainable ocean. We believe that fish weirs and the associated cultural practice are a valuable part of society's living heritage and in many places around the world, and they can play a role in revealing how it is possible to live in balance and harmony with the natural world. We came together with different perspectives about fish weirs based on our previous work in our home countries or our areas of interest. People are from these Philippines, Korea, Ireland, Poland, across the world. But we have many common perspectives. There can be many different perspectives, though, about the values of fish weirs. Mine comes from the fish weirs in Yap, they're called Atch. First built hundreds, possibly thousands of years ago, they are not just simply fishing gear. The Yappies say that spirits in the form of human beings and an eel built the first 7 fish weirs, or Atch, to show Yappies how to build and catch fish in a sustainable manner. There are an estimated 800 around the small volcanic islands of Yap. In the process of using the Atch, Yappies developed a balanced and harmonious relationship with the natural and spirit world using traditional ecological knowledge. Of the estimated 800 Atch located in the extensive reef flat surrounding the high volcanic islands, which are called Yap proper, 450 have been located, 45 documented in some detail, and revealing at least 12 different styles. They range in length along the shaft that runs from the shore to the arrowhead-shaped chamber from about 30 to 100 metres, and you can see 3 of them here. The style, shape, size and construction methods are appropriate for their particular locations on the reef flat, which include the nature of the seabed, the strength and direction of the currents and waves, and the types of fish found in the various regions of Yap. The Atch are located from close to shore, like here, right out across to the reef flat to its very edge, and can catch many different types of fish. The Atch away from the coast, on the reef flat and to the edge, you can see some of the top right here, the black and white photograph, are right on the edge of maybe 2-3 kilometres out from the coast. They vary in style and construction. They do not have the shaft as close to the coast, and they can be built near or incorporating deep blue holes, like the one on the bottom left. The underwater photograph that's shown here illustrates how Yappies built some of the walls of the Atch. As Yappies have stated to me, they built it like this to let fish come and go, to make them feel at home. The lower layers of rocks, maybe 2 metres down, are horizontal. Then as they go up and towards the surface here, you can see that they're actually vertical. And that's to let fish come and go to make them feel at home. The theory we put forward in the submission to the United Nations was that through collaboration of traditional Indigenous knowledge with 21st century science, that it is feasible to restore sustainable marine ecological conservation for the benefit of people, of the ocean and people. We saw the need to collaborate with people building and using fish weirs and engaging anthropologists to work collaboratively with oceanographers, climatologists, biologists, ecologists, geographers and more to synthesise this science and the traditional ecological knowledge, or which could be called traditional ecological science. We initiated a competition to design a logo, one of our first things we did for our project, and you can see it here, developed by a student from the Nelson Mandela University in South Africa, one of our partners. How do we investigate this approach given our various partner perspectives? It doesn't mean we want the world to go back to just using fish weirs or that all fish weirs should be rebuilt, but that they be recognised as conduits to understand and reveal traditional ecological knowledge and as a guide for future sustainable marine ecological conservation and sustainable fishing. One aim of the project was to ensure when it came to highlighting the science we need for the ocean we want, and it's an objective of the Ocean Decade, that the social sciences be seen as playing an important role in this work. All of us in the project already work collaboratively with local communities, the fish weir builders, the owners and users, and we plan to extend this area of collaboration and see what outcomes they would like out of the project and what they can teach us. One of the priorities of the project to be developed is an international database using common terminology and definitions, including information about environmental zones and what types of fish are caught. This picture is from Google Earth and shows the Yappies volcanic islands. The Yap proper is about 50 kilometres in a general north-south orientation, with about 450 of the 800 fish weirs on the reef flat surrounding the islands. And the others, we just haven't got to some of those areas, but we can get a feel how significant they must have been to the Yappies community. What we have not have done so well so far is to engage with scientists who can provide the 21st century science. We will extend our collaboration to the relevant 21st century scientists to grow our knowledge about the value of fish weirs. Some of the recent contacts have been with scientists who can help date corals associated with the fish weirs. This could potentially be very informative when combined with other scientists' work, such as climatologists, to see what environmental issues have impacted regions and fish weirs over the years. We know from other researchers' work that marine biodiversity has been found to be higher within fish weirs than outside of it. We would like to understand, was this intentional and why? And another interesting recommendation has been that to use artificial intelligence, AI, to help locate and analyse fish weirs using their shape and location with the coast. Several communities, notably those in Taiwan and South Africa, do implement community-generated projects on fish weirs, and many places in Oceania and Southeast Asia do likewise. Some of the fish weirs, they're called visweirs in South Africa, which is the one on the left, have been given monument status and protected under legislation. Some have been incorporated into marine protected areas, and some are reused for commercial fishing. In Penghu, which is the island group between Taiwan and mainland China, but it's part of Taiwan, there are several community groups actively maintaining fish weirs called Shihu and providing community outreach projects. You can see here, they have their own building. They have beautiful displays in there, as well as taking people out onto the fish weirs. Penghu Shihu have been declared World Heritage by the Taiwan government, and the local community and the community implement many activities to maintain and celebrate their status and use. In Yap, they recently built a new fish weir from scratch to revive the many traditional cultural practices and to develop community spirit, something needed for this type of fishing, as well as for societies in general. We aim to implement the collaboration required to enable the synthesis of traditional ecological knowledge with 21st century science to develop and grow knowledge centres and to use this knowledge for marine ecological conservation and a framework for similar studies projects elsewhere. In Penghu, the Shihu seen here, there are about 600, and they take years to build, as they do in many other places. The Shihu, quote, took on religious connotations with villagers worshipping the weir and praying to the specific gods and the religious faith that grew out of it, which contributed to the cohesive society, end of quote. They held life together, contributing to the resilience of fishing societies, and they remain a significant aspect of the culture and identity of Penghu people. The United Nations want identification of the varied relevant knowledge and how to use it to contribute to sustainable development, as well as to build capacity in its use. The United Nations has developed 10 ocean challenges to assist in providing motivation and capabilities in the ocean we want, and some relevant challenges include sustainably feed the global population, increase community resilience to ocean hazards, skills, knowledge and technology for all, and change humanity's relationship with the ocean. In June 2023, we had a conference in Taiwan in which the project's partners came together for the first time since being accepted as a United Nations Action Decade. We discussed the project and many other aspects of studying, preserving, using and interpreting fish wares. The conference revealed the extraordinary community interest in fish wares in Taiwan in association with the government and academic collaboration. You can see the crowd of people just for this 2-day conference are just talking about fish wares. Such is the interest in Taiwan. Some groups and people have developed innovative IT applications such as games for raising awareness about the value of fish wares, in addition to several museum exhibitions. As an outcome of the conference, we developed and reported to colleagues in Taiwan about how we plan to move forward with several activities in the United Nations project. We would like to have 2 to 3 more international conferences in the Ocean Decade 2021 to 2030 in different places, further understanding and the value of fish wares and marine ecological conservation. Another priority we have is making the knowledge widely available. While there may be a different emphasis in our partner countries, such as preserving these as archaeological sites or reviving the cultural practices, we are still striving for the same outcomes, that is sustainably ocean use and marine ecological conservation. We will work closely with local communities and 21st century scientists and develop online information, initially through a website, to take on the role as a knowledge centre. We will also use the online platform to raise other marine conservation issues, such as promoting the protection of the parrotfish, shown here with its Yapese name, Choe. The fish spends 90% of its time cleaning reefs of algae. It is under threat in some countries and is also under threat from climate change, such as seawater warming, pollution, and ocean acidification. It is a great analogy for the preservation and use of further knowledge that can be gained from researching fish wares. The cultural landscape of Bali, the rice terraces and the cooperative water management system that irrigates the terraces have been inscribed in the World Heritage List. It is a good example of living in balance and harmony with the natural and spiritual world, and they are the most prolific rice producers in the whole of Indonesia. People whose lives depend on the sea, such as in Southeast Asia, Oceania, and its resources, similarly managed their marine environment. But this is poorly recognised as something which we will promote in our project. In April this year in Barcelona, we'll be presenting a poster about the Yapese Atch and its contribution in our Ocean Decade project. The poster also presents this new atch built by this Gachpara village in Yap, built in 2020. You can see it here. In doing this, the community were keen to revive how to go about building the atch and in the many traditional cultural practices associated with building and using it. There's only a few of the older people that know how to build it, so we want to transfer that knowledge to younger people. Younger people do want to learn about it. This is a good place to end this presentation with an image from Yap, taken from a United Nations magazine article about our work and how we can look back on the knowledge gained and used by our ancestors to be used now and in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us in learning about ancient sites and traditions of Micronesia. If you would like to learn more details, then I encourage you to visit, in person or online, the Micronesian Area Research Center of the University of Guam. Thank you again for watching this program. I hope that you will continue to explore and discover more.